just realized I haven't pulled out any of the books I'm going to talk about. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Natalie. Oh my god, I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in so long. I feel like I've been MIA. I am so sorry about that. Okay, but look how cute my shirt is. It has all the slashers in the Scooby Gang bus. I'm so sorry about being a little bit MIA. I do have an internship this summer, and I'm only off 1 day a week, and between that and trying to find a quiet time to film, it can be a lot. But I'm back, and today I really want to film the mid-year freakout tag. Is that what it's called? Something like that. I am excited to do this because I feel like I've been reading a lot of good books. I feel like I've been giving a lot of 4 and 5 stars, but at the same time, I've had a lot of disappointments. So we can share and we can kind of like see books that I've been reading. That didn't make sense, but there you go. It's out there. So I have what I think are the questions. They may not be the questions, but these are the questions I found. So these are the ones I'm going to use. So let's get started. Okay, so the first one is the best book of the year, and this one's hard, but I think the best book of the year for me is it up there? Yes, it is. I'm gonna get it. I just pulled out random books. I honestly don't know what we're gonna talk about, but let's get into it. Okay, so the best book for me of this year so far is Ace of Spades. This is the Gossip Girl meets Get Out kind of twist, YA thriller. They set the bar for YA thriller. So we have our two main characters, and they go to this really posh, really elite private school. Not a boarding school, just a private school. And they are the only Black kids in this school that's pretty much only has white students. And they start getting targeted by Ace, which is kind of a play on Gossip Girl. And they have to figure out who is doing this because Ace is pretty much ruining their lives. And they kind of realize, like, wait a minute, why are we only getting targeted? It's really good. The twists are in there. The character development is really good. I wanted to give these characters hugs. They were so, like, just powerful because the stuff that was being thrown at them, I would have just dropped out of school the first day. Like, they were so smart in everything. Like, not even just trying to figure it out, but, like, on how to pretty much get past what Ace was doing and trying to spin it because it was just insane. I think this one is really good. I feel like if you love YA, just young adult in general, or if you just love thrillers, this definitely, in my opinion, is even better than 60-75% of thrillers out there, adult thrillers. It was really good, and the cover is gorgeous, and it was a quick read, as in, like, it was a page turner. Not that it was, like, you know, like, simple or something. Like, it was just really, really, really good, and I love it. And it, so far, this definitely is my favorite book, or the best book that I've read in 2021. Oh my god. And then after that, it's the best sequel. So for the best sequel, what would be the best sequel? Oh, for the best sequel, I have two. Okay, so for the best sequel, I have two. I have The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty, and I have Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. So I just read Pierce Brown. I'm in the middle of Morning Star, the third book of the Red Rising trilogy, so that's why I don't have it with me. But book 2 is also Golden Sun. Love that one. So let's talk about that really quickly. Let's talk about Red Rising really quick because it's so fresh in my brain. So basically, Red Rising is this sci-fi adult fantasy kind of book, trilogy. And we have our main character Darrow, and he is born into this world where the Gold, which is just like this elite race of beings, they're humans but not really. They're like superheroes but not good. They basically rule the universe, right? So the humans expanded into other planets, they colonize everything, and after the Golds there is this hierarchy, right? So we have pinks, we have silvers, we have violets, we have grays, and at the very bottom we have reds, who are pretty much slaves. Yeah, they're slaves. And Darrow, our main character, is one of the Reds. And after a lot of a series of unfortunate events that happened in his life, this Sons of Ares, right? Because they're currently in Mars, Darrow, where his story begins. The Sons of Ares decide that for like the recent past couple of years that they don't want to be under Gold's rule anymore. And so they recruit the help of Darrow to infiltrate the golds and take them down from inside. Really freaking good. Really freaking good. Like, I'm gonna have a whole dedicated video to that because that was really freaking good. And so the second book in that one, okay, so why is Golden Sun the best sequel? Because the first one was a lot of like world, which I loved, world building, you know, like action, getting to know the characters that we're gonna see for the rest of like the 2 books. I love that. The third book, so far as I'm seeing it, it's a culmination, right? So they're finally, Pierce Brown is finally tying up loose ends. You know, like some characters I've seen are getting their goodbyes. Some are being introduced, but they're like, you know, already having like a role to play. Like, it's a culmination, right? You can tell. But the second book I loved because, which is kind of tricky because sometimes second books are not that good because they lose the flair from the first book, and sometimes they're pretty much only used as a setup for the last book, and that sucks. That really sucks. So for the second book in Red Rising, Golden Sun, I loved it because it had a mixture of still the violence that we saw in the first one. It was kind of like tying ends already for some characters that you could tell that they were already way past due, right? Like, you kind of could see that they weren't needed in the second book. Like, you were surprised that they still made it into the second book. And I was kind of scared they were going to get dragged on into the third book and, like, you know, unnecessarily. But no, some of them had to say goodbye. And I love that, you know, like sometimes if your time is due, your time is due. And I love that it was also a lot of politics because I love political books. I love, you know, like playing chessboard games. Like, you have to shake hands with this guy. At the same time, you have to watch out for this guy because he can stab a knife in your back. I love that. I love like the moving pieces, trying to figure out like how to unite nations and how to like go to, like, I love that. And so it had a perfect of everything, of like, it had a perfect mixture of the first book, what you should expect in the last book, as well as still kind of leading you into the third book, right? It wasn't just like the second book is done, okay, how are they going to make it into a third book? No, it was good. I gasped at the end of the first one. I gasped at the end of the second one. Good. Amazing trilogy. Hopefully it ends good. And then this one is The King of the Coppers. This one is The City of the Brass. No, the Dabbabad trilogy. This is the sequel to The City of Brass. Yeah, by S.A. Chakraborty. This one has our main character Nari, and she is this girl who is living in 19th century Cairo when she accidentally summons a jinn, and she has her own powers. And then when the jinn comes, she's like, they're like, hey, listen, Dara. Dara was like, listen, you, I think, you are a deva. You are a Naid. Is that what they were saying? Naid? Yeah, right. You're a Naid. Listen, we need to get you back to City of Brass where you belong. And it's basically them arriving to City of Brass, meeting new people, all of that. This is the second book to that, and this one has, I think, like a 5-year jump, which I was fine with. I love this because a lot of the characters that I wanted to see more of in the first one really got fleshed out here. And again, this was politics. This was Nari trying to play this was Nari trying to play her oppressors and her kind of wardens game and trying to beat them at that game. Like, and still trying to find who she really is, like what her parentage, her lineage, her ancestors, who they really were. Really good, really freaking good. I loved it. Page turner to the max. I literally would stay up every single night till like 3 in the morning trying to finish this. This was really freaking good. This entire series is so freaking good. This trilogy. I am so sad that it's only 3 books, but I understand it. It was like a perfect culmination at the end, but I'm really sad because it was so good. It was so good, and I wish I had more. And there is more because there's an anthology series coming out. It's only on audiobook so far, but as Chakraborty said, maybe they're going to be prints. Not sure yet, but you should go to her Instagram page. She has all the details there. So this one is amazing. 5 stars. Love that. Okay, so after just a new release, so I'm guessing it's just a new release you want to read. So I have 2 again for this one. I really want to read Survive the Night by Riley Sager, and I need to read The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. So Survive the Night by Riley Sager is, I don't even know, what is it, his 4th book? Who the hell is calling my grandma? She's not here. Thank you. So this is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This is another thriller, suspense, horror book. We have, I think, our main character. Oh my freaking God. She is not here. Should I get up and deny their call? Yes. Am I going to? No. Am I going to sit here and rage? Yes. Okay, so we have our main character, and she accepts a ride, I think, home with a guy. I don't know if they know each other. I don't think she's a hitchhiker. I think maybe a classmate. And on the ride home, I think they hear like the news or something, and she basically is like, "Oh my God, the guy who's driving me is a serial killer." But they're stuck in the car for like for the past like what, like 6 hours. So it's kind of giving me like No Exit vibes, but it's Riley Sager, so it's not gonna be like No Exit. But it's freaking good because it's Riley Sager. But I'm kind of scared because I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews about this. Very 50-50. A lot of people love it, a lot of people do not like it. But that's the same with all of Riley Sager's books, because I loved all of his books, and there are people out there who give them all 2 stars. So I think I'm pretty much like a Riley Sager fan. For the most part, like, he's made my favorite author list because I love all of his books, and he's come out with a good amount of books. And then also, The Box in the Woods. So this is a kind of spin-off of the Truly Devious series. The Truly Devious, of course, stars Stevie Bell. She gets into Ellingham Academy because she wants to be a detective. She wants to one day just solve crimes for a living. Good for her. And she realizes that in the Ellingham Academy, it's home to the infamous Ellingham kidnapping slash murder, and no one has figured out who Truly Devious was after they just left this mysterious like poem in 1920. So she solves it because she's Stevie Bell, and she kind of becomes famous, right? Because she's like, everybody's like, oh my God, this girl solved like pretty much a century-long mystery that nobody could solve, even though everybody tried to solve it. And she gets famous, and I think this is a spin-off of one of her kind of jobs. I think they start like asking her to like come and figure stuff out, and like, and it's just a box in the woods, yeah. Yeah, so basically she gets a message from someone asking her to come to this camp, and there is so back in 1978, 4 camp counselors were killed in the woods, and their bodies were left in a gruesome display. And the new camp owner offers Stevie an invitation, come to the camp and help him work on a true crime podcast. So Stevie's like, that's fine, I'm just gonna be my friends. However, she opens the lid to this, and she figures out there's something else that happened in 1978. Like, there's something fishy about those murders. Super excited. Love Truly Devious. Love them. They're right there. They're chilling out. They're like right underneath my Holy Grail series because chef's kiss. They're amazing. Okay, and then anticipated release. Do I have any anticipated releases? What is coming out? I honestly don't keep up with book news. What's coming out? No, truly, what is coming out? The 3rd book of the Jade Legacy, Jade War, that one, the 3rd book, the last one. I want to read that one. I want to read them. They're like literally like they're on the horizon. Like, I'm gonna read them really soon. The Jade War, the Fonda Lee ones, I want to read those. I'm gonna read that, yeah, like soon, like within the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna read them. Next, I'm gonna read TJ Klune's Green Creek series. I'm gonna read about werewolves. And biggest disappointment, y'all already know. Oh, also anticipated release that I really want to read also is Neon Gods by Katie Robert. I think this is Katie Robert, the one about that I liked. You guys know what I'm talking about, the poly relationship, the not that your dad would do, the other one, like Gift Me to Your Best Friend. That one, I read it like 5 times in like a week. I love that. Is that Katie Robert? Is that Katie Robert? I think that's Katie Robert, right? The same one who did the Taboo, whatever, like Your Dad Will Do, the one where she tries to get back at her ex for cheating and sleeps with their dad, and they live happily ever after. And then Get Me Your Best Friend is the wife and husband. They have like a really good relationship, and they basically invite the best friend, the guy's best friend, into their lives. Not into their lives, because they are pretty much joined at the hip 24/7, but into the fold of the relationship. And then at the end, they're like, yeah, let's get into a poly relationship. I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I think this is a Persephone and Hades retelling. That's all I know. Okay, biggest disappointment, Maidens. Do I have to explain? Like, the Maidens. I would have given it 1 star if they just didn't keep on mentioning like Greek classics and everything. Linear timeline, no playing with time, pretty basic 1 dimension, maybe 2 dimensions if I give them a little bit more characters. It was a very like close set of characters, so close that you pretty much knew who it was. It was so limited to who it was going to be that it was boring. And I'm so sad because I thought it was going to be another Silent Patient, and I wasn't given that. Okay, biggest surprise. What's the biggest surprise for me? Honestly, Red Rising. Biggest surprise would be Red Rising because I was kind of hesitant going into it because I realized that I was buying a lot of adult fantasies, a lot of sci-fis, and I hadn't read like anything of that genre, and so I was kind of getting mad at myself because I was like, Natalie, you've bought like 20 books in this genre and you haven't read one. What if you don't like it? Like, what are you gonna do then? And when I went into Red Rising, open-minded, but I was kind of scared. I was like, oh my god, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this because it starts off very like world building, right? I understood it, but it's very much world building. And then I loved it. And I loved it. So its biggest surprise is Red Rising. Thank you so much for proving that yes, I can love adult sci-fi and fantasy. Fave new author, S.A. Chakraborty. S.A. Chakraborty. She's for sure my new favorite author. I love her. I think her writing is amazing. She posts snippets of her new pirate book that she has coming out like in a couple of years, and it's so freaking good. I'm like, wow, you can freaking write as a Chakraborty. Like, you're good. Like, she is really good at writing. Another one would be, I don't really have a favorite new author. I pretty much stick to the same ones. I know I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I pretty much stick to like the same ones like all the time. A new fictional crush. I don't have a new fictional crush. So sad, huh? I don't have a new book boyfriend. Do I? No, I don't. Do I? No, I don't. Michael low-key, before I softly DNF'd the kiss quotient, Michael low-key was getting up there. I was like, Michael, you can get it. I was like, new fake character. Where are you? Muntadir. I love Muntadir so much. I think he is so funny. He is one of the main character's brothers. He's a side character, but S.A. Chakraborty has said that he's probably her favorite side character. It's the most fun to write, to like plan out, to flesh out, and like, you know, have the storyline. I love him. He's sweet. He's a little bit of a scary cat, a little bit, but at the end, he makes up for it. He's so sweet. He's funny. He's smart, like in his own way. Like, yeah, he might not be like tactical war smart, but he is political smart. And at the end of the day, that's just as important as being war smart and knowing how to like do battlefields and everything. So, you know, if you know how to grease hands, if you know how to sway your enemy over, you're a freaking genius. So I love Muntadir. Love him. A book that made me cry. This book at the end made me sob at like 3 in the morning. I was at my kitchen island crying my eyes out. My brother was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, I was crying my eyes out at the end. I was like, this is probably the only book that has made me cry this year. That's so sad. Oh, did I read it? Wait, did I read this in? Hold on. I was ready to like drop the mic and tell you guys about something, but I don't know when I read this book. I think I read this last year. I did. I was gonna say The Song of Achilles. I was like, bro. There we go again. I was gonna be like, bro. I freaking cried my eyes out in The Song of Achilles. Like, I don't think I've ever talked about it because I was gonna do it for a Books That Made Me Cry video, but I decided to postpone it. But The Song of Achilles made me cry so hard at the end. Like, I have cried few times like that. I cried so freaking hard. My head was hurting. My eyes were puffy. Few times have I cried that hard over books because I cry like that all the time over like movies, TV shows, you know. But of a book, I literally like I couldn't. I'm reading my review and it was bad. And I was down bad. Like, it was over for me. It was over for me. It was bad. Okay, a book that made me happy. What's a book that made me happy? Oh, yeah, I mean, it made me happy. Like, Fixer Up. I liked it. I laughed. I was rooting for them. It made my heart like warm that they got together at the end and it was like a good get together. I like this one. This one did make me happy. I feel like I could say that. This made me happy. Yeah, I mean, there's not really, because I've been really reading like romances. I've been reading a lot of fantasies and thrillers, you know, so it's like I've been trying to read more, but romances, but like I softly DNF'd this quiz question because I was like, not today. But yeah, this one is Fixed Her Up, the one where she is been in love with her brother's best friend since they were 11. He pretty much falls from grace like when they're like 20 something, like young adults, and she comes and basically fixes him up because she was like, listen, I know I'm in love with you, but you're my brother's best friend, you're a family friend, we all love you, and at the end of the day, like, I still care for you whether you like you're in love with me, like whether you like me in that way or not, like I still care for you because we grew up together, we're still friends, all of that. So she basically like fixes his life up and is like, listen, you're better than this. And that's when he's like, oh, I see you in a different light now. And he's like, oh my God, you've been there for me all along. And then they end up together. And it's so good. So good. So good. Really recommend Tessa Bailey. I'm going to read like all of her things now. My Kindle is ready. Okay. And then my most beautiful book. I have a most beautiful book. Oh, I mean, yeah. Yeah. These, my King of Elfhen books. This is the Barnes & Noble's one side edition, and this was the Alcrate one. For sure, this one. Which one's, no, that, oh, this is the one, yeah. Natalie. This is the Alcrate one that's signed. Look how pretty it is in the inside. Look how pretty it is in the inside. Like, are you kidding me? And then the freaking, like, sleeve in the back. Oh, are you kidding me? For sure, yeah. I had to include Jude somewhere in here. Are you kidding me? I had to include Jude. But yeah, for sure, that's just this kind of prequel, kind of sequel to the Cruel Prince, Folk of the Air stuff. And then what I need to read before the end of the year, a lot of stuff. I need to read a lot of stuff for the end of the year. I need to finally read Jade War, right? I finally need to read the Green Cook series. I finally need to read all the stuff I want to read, my new releases. I finally need to read, no, that's not it. I want to read Ship of Magic for sure, and Malice by John Gwynne, Ship of Magic by Robin Hall. I need to read The Burning God. I need to read that. Like, it's done. I can't play around with it anymore. Like, I need to read The Burning God. I need to. I can't, like, play it, like, there ain't no jokes anymore. Like, this ain't a game anymore. And I want to read the sequel to Extraordinaries. That's also a new release I need to get to. I need to read How Moon Fuentes Fell in Love with the Universe, and I need to read Cemetery Boys. I need oh, and anticipated release is a sequel to Ari and Dante, which I have some words about, because if you've been, oh, that's drama, I won't get into it, but yeah, I need to read Rule of Wolves. I haven't read Rule of Wolves yet. I need to read a lot of things. I need to get moving. Yeah, I have a lot of things I need to read. But yeah, so yay, I did it. That's my mid-year freakout tag. I hope you liked it. I tried to make this interesting and kind of just chat. I haven't talked to you guys in so long, and I really just wanted to sit down and kind of do like a mini wrap up of just like highlights of this year, like what I've been loving, what I haven't been loving. And yeah, I'm excited to get reading again. So right now, literally right as I'm done filming this, I'm gonna finish Red Rising, and then I really want to start, what is it called? Wolfsong. I really want to start Wolfsong today. Like, really want to start it already. Like, it needs to be. I'm going to the pool with my little cousins, so I'm just gonna sit poolside. I'm not taking care of that because obviously I'm taking care of my little cousins. I can't. They can drown. But I'm gonna just be there, you know, just chilling, taking a pool day, reading poolside. So I will hopefully start Wolfsong by then. But yeah, okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. My next movie, I'm coming out with the movie. My next video probably will be Red Rising, maybe a video about Red Rising, maybe my July wrap up because I have a lot of books I'm gonna read in July, maybe a themed video, like I read blank blank of this genre, maybe. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you loved it. Is that what I say? I literally, every time, I take so long to film, like, I was gonna say movies again. I take so long to freaking film my videos. Like, I film a video and then 2 weeks and then another video, that I forget what my outro is. Okay, take two. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay safe and grow with your red book for me.